I'm Betsy, and welcome to CAM Matters. Today we are going to be talking about cooperatives. And yes, there are cooperatives in Florida. And no, they don't have anything to do with citrus or vegetables or farming. So come join us as we explain what a cooperative is.
Welcome to CAM Matters, Condos, Co-ops, HOAs, and beyond. Betsy Barbieux is an informational leader in Florida on community association living, rights, and obligations. She is an expert on the rights and obligations of owners as well as the association. If you live or are planning to live in the state of Florida, there's a good chance you'll be part of a community association. And by the end of this show, you'll know a little bit more about community associations and why they matter.
Hello and welcome to CAM Matters. I'm Suzanne Lynn with Betsy Barbieux, and today on CAM Matters, we're going to be talking, of course, the name of the show is Condos, Co-ops, and HOAs. We're going to be talking about mostly co-ops, but let's first talk about what is the difference between, like, we know what a condo is, so like we can all picture that, kind of think of Miami where it's stacked.
We talked about stacked air.
Right.
You own stacked air.
Right. So that would represent a condo. We know HOAs are...
HOA would be usually a single-family home with a yard. There are exceptions to everything I say.
Sure.
Everything I say.
Yeah.
But typically it's what we would call a single-family home with a yard.
Okay. Co-ops. When we started doing the show, I'm like, I've only ever heard co-ops used as like farming. And I mean, so I guess the concept is many people involved somehow?
Don't think it's the same as an agricultural co-op.
Okay.
And my dad was a citrus broker, and he had co-ops of citrus growers. But that's not this.
Okay.
That's not this. So I've heard the word all my life.
Right.
But now it's in a different context for me.
Okay.
In Florida, you want me to describe it to
Please
you?
do, yes.
In Florida, we have probably not quite 8,000 co-ops.
Okay.
I actually was someplace the other day, and the lady speaking said, we don't have any co-ops in Florida. Oh, yes, we do. Oh, yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yes. And in our intro to our show, we do a flyover of a co-op.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of co-ops in Florida, and there's even a management company over in West Central Florida that specializes in managing co-ops.
Okay.
It's big enough business for them.
8,000, that's a lot, yeah.
And I think that was what I counted, about 8,000. If you think of a co-op, and this will be an easy way to describe it, and forgive me for not being technical, but
Sorry, the cat is distracting. Sorry.
I teach all of the time, and I'm teaching to people who don't know anything with any frame of reference, so I've tried to find the simplest explanation.
I think you're safer to over-explain, because in this case, I have no idea. Yeah.
So I maybe oversimplify, but you get the gist then of what I'm saying. If we think of a mobile home park, most co-ops in Florida are mobile home parks.
Okay.
Not all. We've got some co-ops in South Florida and in the Jacksonville area that are the buildings.
Okay.
They would look like a high-rise condo building.
Okay, but it's a co-op.
Okay. But the easiest way to explain it is a mobile home park.
Okay.
And here in Lake County, where I am, we have dozens of them. And they're all very nice. They're usually on water. We live in Lake County, so we have a lot of water here. Yeah. And a lot of our beautiful co-op parks are on water. So they have marinas, they have seawalls, they have all sorts of amenities. They're beautiful. This is not the city trailer park.
Right.
They're nice.
Okay.
If you think about before it became a co-op, let's say we've got a tract of land and has 50 spots on it for mobile homes. And just to make it interesting, we're just going to say that this tract of land is owned by the evil landlord.
Okay.
Just to make it interesting. Right. So it's owned by an evil landlord. So there's a tract of land here, 50 spots on it. The mobile home owners own their mobile home, but they rent the pad that it's on.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got owner-renters. They call themselves owners. He calls them renters. The landlord calls them renters.
Right.
Okay, so
the lines continue to blur.
So we've got owner renters.
Yeah.
We've got 50 of those owner renters. Now, if you think about the investment that owner has of having bought that mobile home or modular home, either one, skirted it, put the porch on it, put the utility room, the patio, the driveway, the garage, they put all of these things on it. They have quite an investment on a rental lot.
Wow.
The law, it's like, wow.
You're painting a beautiful picture. I really understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the landlord, our evil landlord, decides to sell the park.
Okay.
To protect the owner-renter's interest, because, he could just sell their land literally right out from under them. So to protect their interest, the law allows the owner-renters the right of first refusal to buy the park, to purchase the park. Now, in order to do that, out of these 50, let's say 32 have the means and ability to purchase the park. Those 32 are going to organize themselves into the ABC Cooperative Association, and that association corporation will buy the park. Those 32, when they organize themselves into a cooperative corporation, those 32 will make a capital contribution to the corporation. That capital contribution could be a significant amount of money. They need this money, this significant amount of money, as the down payment that the bank is going to require to get the mortgage, the loan to buy the park. So these 32 could be putting in $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 into the cooperative. In exchange for that amount of money, that owner-renter becomes a shareholder of the corporation and receives a shareholder's certificate.
So they get a piece of paper for the $80,000. Yeah.
But this certificate then allows them to sign a proprietary lease for the exclusive use of the pad that they're on, the space that they're on. Not real sure why they add the word lease to it, but proprietary has an idea of ownership to it.
Property. Yeah.
So the proprietary lease is recorded in the public records. We have recording information here. So it's in the ground underneath the property.
Right.
It has similar legal weight, effect, as a warranty deed.
Okay.
You can buy it, sell it, mortgage it, bequeath it. Back years ago when I worked for attorneys, that's what we did, was the estate planning, and we transferred a lot of these into people's revocable living trust.
So am I going to confuse things if I go, in that way it's kind of like a timeshare?
That's not a timeshare. Not at all. Because it's whole ownership of that proprietary spot.
Still trying to wrap my mind around this.
We can talk about timeshare another day.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
We can do that another day. So these 32 now are not known as owner-renters. They are shareholders.
Okay.
They're going to be shareholders. They are members of the corporation that is buying the park. There will be then a real estate transaction, and one deed for the whole park will transfer from the evil landlord to ABC.
To the 32.
No, to the Cooperative Association, to the corporation.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
It's just one deed from the landlord to the corporation. To the corporation.
Okay.
But we had 50 spots in the park.
Right, there were 18. Right.
At this point, those 18 are still owner-renters. They now have a different landlord. Instead of evil landlord being their landlord, ABC Cooperative Corporation is their landlord.
Right.
Some communities cut off sales of shares and leave those 18 as rental units.
Okay.
And that brings them some nice income for the corporation. And some communities work real hard to sell out those other 18 spots. And it's interesting because when you drive by, the sign out front will say 100% resident owned.
Oh, sure. I've seen that.
You can see it.
Yes.
It'll have their name. Then it'll say resident owned or 100% resident owned, which means everyone who lives there owns a share.
Is part of the corporation.
Is part of the corporation.
Okay.
And I have to say,
Phew.
can you take a breath?
Yeah.
Okay. But in the bigger metropolitan areas like the Miami-Dade or Duval counties where they would have the buildings, it would be similar for the building. It would have been an apartment building.
Okay. But it's the same concept. Instead of mobile homes, it's apartments.
Just apartments.
Right.
And the landlord wants to sell the building, which is different than selling the units.
Gotcha.
So he wants to sell the building. The owners co-op themselves. They cooperate, and form an organization that will buy the building. What I think is unique about it is it doesn't require 100% of the people to buy in.
Yeah.
Because obviously there would be some people who don't have the means or opportunity to do so, but it still allows a significant number of them to organize themselves together to buy the building or the park.
Very interesting. I'm going to need to digest this, and then we'll come back because I've got some more questions for you, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready for a new career? Do you have skills or interest in management, real estate, construction, maintenance, accounting, strategic planning, project management, budgets, human resource management, lawn and landscaping, pool services, or any other expertise needed to operate a community association? If you do, community association management could be for you. For more information, feel free to email Betsy at betsy@floridacamschools.com or visit the Florida Cam Schools website at www.floridacamschools.com. Florida Community Association Management continues to grow. Career opportunities abound.
All right, well, welcome back to CAM Matters. We're talking about co-ops. I had a chance to get a Tylenol and a glass of wine, and I'm all caught up now. So it's more complicated than I thought.
I froze her brain.
So my question about co-ops is, what is the advantage and what should people be aware about when they're moving into a co-op?
The same type of restrictions.
Okay.
In a co-op, you still may have restrictions on renting your unit, whether it's an apartment type unit or whether it's a mobile home.
Okay.
There still might be restrictions on pets. Mm-hmm. We've talked about flags. There might be restrictions on yard art.
Mm-hmm. Quote unquote.
Yard art.
Art is subjective, yeah.
There could be, especially in the mobile home parks that are co-ops, there's always, pretty much in all of them, there's always a challenge of parking, extra parking. I mean,
interesting.
Developers and landlords, when they build the communities, they want to build the communities to have residences to sell. They don't. Yeah. So they kind of skimp on the parking.
Sure.
So communities are forever looking for more parking. So you just need to be sure, if you've got a big RV, if you've got a travel trailer, if you've got a boat, you may have to have some off-site storage for those things. There won't be, you can't put it in your driveway.
That's a whole nother show, by the way.
Show.
Yeah. Every time we do a show, we're like, that's another show. Is there concern if somebody moves into a co-op, what if they sell it? Is that something that you need to go, oh my gosh, I'm not buying into a co-op because...
the co-op, actually, you would have basically 3 pieces of paper that evidence your ownership.
Okay.
You would have your share, you have your proprietary lease, and if it's a mobile home co-op, you would have your mobile home title. So it's just a matter of...
So there's nothing especially risky about moving into a co-op?
Oh, no, there wouldn't be anything risky about it.
Yeah.
And the co-ops usually reevaluate the value of their shares periodically, and hopefully
that's a good thing if it goes up.
The valuation of those shares go up.
Sure.
So what you sell your share for has a definable amount, has a definable value.
Okay.
So you would know what your share is worth. You know what your mobile home is worth. So you would do an assignment of your proprietary lease. You would transfer your mobile home title, and you would transfer your share.
I thought this was going to be an easy show. I feel like I have homework I need to do and get
Brain
graded.
cramp.
Yeah. There's a lot to know, though.
But as far as what else do you need to know, it's no different than moving into a condominium or a homeowner association. Okay. You would still need to make sure that you've read your documents before you buy, because you're going to become contractually obligated to everything that's in there. And some communities' rules and regulations might not suit you.
And isn't that what it always comes down to? Every show, it seems like we end, read the documents that you're given.
The documents.
Right.
And you have an opportunity to ask your realtor for them. You have an opportunity to ask your seller for them. If you're good on the website, you can go to your clerk's office or your property appraiser's office. I am going to give a shout out to the Lake County Property Appraiser's Office, because that is like the best website ever.
Wow.
It is so easy to search, and some other counties,
not so much.
Not so much.
All right. Well, I think this is a great one to end on. Thank you so much. I actually do have some clarity on co-ops now.
Condos, co-ops,
and HOAs, and beyond.
And beyond, and that's why CAM matters.
Thank you for listening to CAM Matters. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. For more information, feel free to email Betsy at betsy@floridacamschools.com or visit the Florida Cam Schools website at www.floridacamschools.com. Information provided on this show is general in nature and does not constitute legal advice. Please contact a licensed attorney for your specific situation.